Welcome everybody to what episode is this? Are we on 7?
Yes, episode 7. Thank you so much, professional host, for remembering.
Episode 7 of the Xbox Live Party USA stream.
Like I just,
I'm
I
your
just love how the beginning of it was. What episode is it? Like holy crap!
well,
Where are we at? What planet are we on?
hey, 2020 and 2021 have been
Are we
brutal.
doing a Are we doing a show? What?
Just a little one. Just a
Oh,
little
man.
one.
Wait a
A little
second.
reflection.
We are ready.
Yeah.
Are we recording right now? What's going on?
Yeah, we
This
might
is
be.
USA Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Like-
And on screen is the game of the year. Yes, it is.
yes, there we go.
So, I'm your host, KY Bob. Lubrication for your ear holes. I'm joined by my brother, Powerman 4K, and my other brother in Brazil, Fabio. What have you guys been up to? And Powerman, we'll start with you.
Right now, man, just currently battling COVID, unfortunately. So I haven't really been gaming too much. Just the headaches and the aches and stuff like that kind of make it hard to focus. But I have been able to wander up here for a little bit. So I played a couple, just a little bit of Halo, just kind of dabbling right now, just kind of trying to take it easy and rest. I finished The Witcher. That was a really good show. I enjoyed it. But other than that, man, just trying to take it easy, brother.
No spoilers, man. I'm only on episode 3 of the second season.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, and I'm really sad to hear about the COVID, man. It's rough. My whole household had it about 8 months ago, and we had all been vaccinated, and so it was like a bad cold for us.
Yeah,
But
that's where I'm at with it. And what's crazy is it's just the violent spike in it. You know what I mean? It was like out of nowhere. I feel like everybody that I freaking know has COVID at this point. It's crazy. Half of my job is out of work.
Jesus.
It's crazy right now, man. Yeah, half of our staff is out.
yeah, a guy that I work with, I worked alongside him. We were changing something out back in the tank farm at the distillery. We were changing something out. It took us 4.5 hours, and we worked side by side the whole day Tuesday. And he texted everybody yesterday saying, "I don't feel good, man. Guys, I'm going to go get a test." And then he texted us today and said, "Yep, it's positive." And I'm like, "Well, dude, I feel fine. I don't have. I don't have a fever or anything." So
Yeah. So what? Do you mind me asking which shot did you get when you got vaccinated?
the Pfizer. I got the
Pfizer?
Pfizer shot. Yep.
Yeah.
I've had the 2
Yeah, it's
Pfizer
crazy,
shots, and then I got the booster 3 months ago.
Well, at least you guys got the booster. I still have to wait for mine.
So,
Yeah.
Fabio, what have you been doing? I'm sure you've had a more game filled, because you sound okay. You sound healthy. Been
Yes,
gaming?
thank you so much. Of course, I've been playing Halo like crazy. Holy fucking shit! Okay, actually, to be honest, I've been playing only Halo since was released. To be honest, so yeah, I already finished. I already made a review. It is available right now on our channel, and yeah, I really like it. But I gotta say, it's not perfect. It has its flaws, but really great game. Really awesome.
Yeah. Well, I have been playing lots of Halo. I have been going through my my Game Pass achievements,
Mm,
and let's see. Oh, I started playing NBA 2K22
fair enough. Fair
because
enough.
some good friend gifted me that on Xbox Live, and
Is
yeah,
it good? Is it worth
I,
it?
I I mean, well, you know how when you got that game fast start, so after you've had so much downloaded, they're like, "Oh, you can start the game." Well, yeah, I could start the game, but I still couldn't play anybody online or
Mm.
with anybody online.
Yeah,
I could
that.
basically just launch a skirmish with the a random preset group of teams. I did not have access to the whole NBA, but
Hmm.
I did have access to the Lakers, and so I proved that Anthony can shoot 3 pointers.
I gotta be very honest. I don't understand what's the point of the it's ready right now for you to play, but the installation is not finished. And so when you start to play, when you start the game thinking you are going to be able to play, you don't. You just stay waiting in the on the menu screen. I just hate that, to be honest.
Agreed. I don't understand. What is the point of telling me it's ready to start if it's not? You know?
Exactly. Like
Yeah, I thought
Gears 5. I just wanted to play the campaign, but I just had to look upon Kate on a snowy mountain while I was waiting for the installation to complete, God damn it.
the cloud was supposed to help us with this.
Well, now I think the cloud is just enabling you to skip downloading in general, right?
Yeah.
Like instead of going native, you can just I like I've been doing that on my Series S, right? Because it's hardlined.
Exactly.
So I'll play
Microsoft's Flight
Slayer got me
Simulator.
thinking about Elder Scrolls, so I would just jump. I was like, man, that thing's 130 gigs, man. So I didn't feel like waiting on it, so I just jumped in on the cloud, and dude, it felt like native. You know, like I mean, it's not like 100% perfect, but it's pretty close. I have really good internet, but
Wait a second.
um,
Elder Scrolls Online is available on clouds?
on Game Pass, yeah, you can just go straight to the cloud.
Okay,
So you just
awesome.
click it, and you go straight into the game.
That's less. That's what? How many gigabytes are the space storage in Elder Scrolls Online? Like close to 100 or
Oh, it's
something like
It's
that.
over 100.
130. It's
It's over
Yeah, it's
130, I
100.
think.
130.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
and I think that's not including DLC. I think that's just the base game. You know,
Hey,
so it's a
Jesus!
big boy.
Holy
Shit,
fucking!
yeah.
For a Series S, this is huge.
Yeah, that's major. I mean, when you got to think about storage space and whether or not you want to put it on expansion, and um, not only that, but if you're accessing it through the cloud, you're accessing a Series X cloud server blade, so you're getting the enhancements and everything. So
Yeah, yeah.
it almost, for me, I'd rather do that than download it to a non SSD and then just play like the old gen version because ESO is kind of choppy without the
Hmm.
enhancements.
Yeah, I do
So
understand. Much. Yeah, I do agree. Good point. Good points, good sir.
yeah, yeah.
Another thing I've been doing is well, I'm actually in awe because I've always had a PC,
Mm.
and now I'm realizing just how good Windows 10 is at handling multiple displays. Like,
Okay, because
yeah, like
I was about to say, okay, be careful with what you're going to say. Windows 10 is really good for. Mm.
well, I honestly don't have any problems out of Windows 10 for what I use Photoshop, Illustrator. I play all my games on all my real time strategy games, and sometimes I'll have a YouTube video going in the background while I'm playing Xbox on the flat screen, and I have absolutely no issues with Windows 10.
Fair enough.
It's almost like Windows does this all the time. Like as soon or Microsoft for that matter, they'll get like an operating system. It'll be running the best it's ever ran, and then it's time to change. They did the same thing with XP. XP was like flawless. I mean, robust, and then it's like,
Mm.
nope, Windows 7.
Well, I'll tell you, interesting fact about Windows 10. It was originally meant to be a mobile um, OS, and they actually went back in and inflated it to a full blown operating system for a PC. But I do
Oh,
agree that, especially since lately it has been Windows 10 was in a good spot. I think my PC was eligible to upgrade to Windows 11, and I've had good experiences with it. But I know that some people haven't, so I can't attest to it.
but back to my multiple display, because doing a podcast and everything, I've always wanted two displays. And I finally got two displays because, as many of you know, I built my daughter a computer for Christmas because hers was old. I built hers right alongside me building my new one. And then the other daughter, her PC was doing just fine, but she needed a nicer monitor. So we got her a 27-inch curved Samsung, like the one that I have. We actually got them both a 27-inch curved Samsung. And so I think it's I want to say it's a 23-inch or something like that ViewSonic. I mean, yeah, an LG Flattron. And so I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take that old monitor of hers and use it as a multiple display. And I set it up. It was really easy. As soon as I plugged it in, Windows was like, okay, what one do you want your primary? And you can then, if it's not the same size or if it's not oriented the same as your other one, you can change it so that your cursor actually looks like it's going from one screen to another. But what's really cool is so I've got the apps that I have, and this isn't an advertisement for any of these, but the apps that I have
Oh
start
yeah,
up
sure, sure. Not
automatically.
call us.
What?
If you, oh sure, it's not an advertisement. If you want to pay us, call us. Just
Yeah, just call
give us
us.
a call and
Get in touch.
we are. It doesn't matter which products you are selling. We are going to talk about it.
But the three apps that start up immediately when I boot Windows up are my Xbox app, my Discord app, and Twitter. And so I was doing something on my main display, and so I moved Discord over to my second display, and I had Discord over my second display. And then when I shut my computer down that night, I just left Discord in the second display. And when I booted my computer up the next day, Windows remembered where I had left Discord. And when it started up automatically, it started up on the second display and not right in my face on main display. I was like, oh, dude, that's so cool. So I'm multitasking like a madman now. I'm trying to see how many things I can get running, what my CPU temps and my fans are going to. I'm trying to get it to crash at this point. I'm like, how much can it take?
Imagine how crazy it is going to be. Like in one screen, in one monitor, you are playing Xbox games, and in the other monitor, you are playing PlayStation games as well at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. Like
That's actually a great idea.
a couple nights ago, I was playing Xbox on the big screen TV in front of me, and then on my main display, my 27-inch curved Samsung, I had AverMedia running, capturing gameplay, while I had a YouTube video playing on half of my second monitor and Discord on the other half of my second monitor. And it was like I'm sitting back here, I'm like a fat cat. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the life. I'm living it now.
Now I am officially living 100%.
That's right. Uh,
Jesus,
that
amazing.
other than that, I've adopted some of the I've kind of passed down some of my older PC peripherals to the children. Um, I gave up my Logitech mouse in favor for the weighted Red Dragon mouse. It fits my hand a lot better. It's a lot larger mouse, and a lot of people don't like Red Dragon, but I think they make quality products.
Dude, I just got in the mail yesterday the Red Dragon K552 mechanical keyboard, and it's amazing.
My Red Dragon mechanical keyboard is a K552.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's got each row of keys is a different color?
No, well, see, I don't know which one. So the 552 has the six button configuration for the RGB. So like right now
Okay.
it's on like a wave pattern, and then you can change it to like a solid red, all this other kind of stuff or whatever. But I just keep it on the plain RGB. There is another one that's like that, and I think it might be a different number, but yeah, it has just a straight RGB with nothing else. but this one has like a wave rainbow and then like six other functions. But yeah, I mean, dude, for the money, it's unbeatable. I mean, it has the same keys as like a 90 or $100 keyboard. You know?
Yeah, but well, I feel the same way about my weighted my 601 Red Dragon mouse that I got last week. It's just like I've had a lot of Logitech mice, and they were nice mice, but I paid for them. This Red Dragon mouse, it's got a braided cable. It feels very sturdy, and it was $19 on Amazon. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Nice.
So enough about what we've been into. It's time to get into our first topic, and I want to talk about what in the last 2 years and moving forward, what Game Pass has become, what it has turned into, and it's pretty much, I think it's exceeded everybody's expectations. It did that over the summer. But now it's just like, well, it's not, we heard it, it's not sustainable and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And now it's gotten so far as when was the last time Sony blatantly copied something from Xbox? And now, I mean, it's been going on long enough, and Game Pass has been such a success that PlayStation's talking about a 3-tier service, which I'm in total disagreement. Game Pass is this. You get Game Pass, you got it all. 3 tiers. I'm like, well, what are we talking? Because we
Yeah.
know none of the tiers are going to be day and date.
But
So what
like,
are you getting?
could we say that the base Game Pass subscription service and the Ultimate Game Pass subscription service are kind of tiers? Could we consider that?
Well, I don't know because, um,
There's a difference in that.
well, I know there's a difference, but I think if you have Xbox Live Gold, you automatically, when you get Game Pass, you have Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
No,
As far
no.
well,
Is
I
it?
don't know about. I think
Is it
there is a
converted
way.
like that?
I'm pretty sure that they took away the option of doing um it's basically like a package deal, right? Unless you're on PC. Pretty
Uh-huh.
sure you could pay for Game Pass for PC individually. But if you're on console, I don't. I mean, don't
S-
quote me, but I don't. I
s-
don't. I don't think I've ever seen an option for just that, and then also having gold.
Mm,
Which it'd be you'd be silly not to take advantage of the deal for Ultimate. You know what I mean?
for
Because
sure. For sure.
you're actually probably saving money. And then you think about the games you're not going to have to buy. I mean, that's just a no brainer.
Yeah, that maybe they decided to just change it and the only option for console is Game Pass Ultimate. Makes sense.
Yeah.
The
And
offer
hey,
is
I
so good.
I get uses out of both of them because I like my real time strategy games just on my PC, and so yeah, um, Age of Empires 4, I was there, I got it. It's not on my console,
I'm
but I got
still
it still.
I'm I'm still waiting for it to be available on console. So yeah.
Which I think is silly now because the Xboxes do have native mouse and keyboard support. So it's no different than, well, everybody's saying, well, you can't put a game on there and then require a peripheral. Bullshit. What about VR? You go on the PlayStation store right now and there are games on there that say require VR. Okay, well, just
But
put it
like
on Game Pass, requires mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
but like does the I don't know how that works because I never had a PlayStation 4 or something like that. I don't know how the PlayStation VR works. But you put the VR game inside the normal console and then
Yes.
you need to have the peripheral to play? Is this
Yes,
what's going?
yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
The VR headset hooks up to a display port on your PlayStation.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. The game won't function without it. Like it has to recognize that the peripheral's attached.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough. Because I thought that I don't know why, but I always had the impression that the peripheral was always something of its own. You know what I mean? Like you put the game inside the peripheral. So I don't know. I thought the the VR in PlayStation was a different console.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that, like, I mean, think about like Astrobot for the PlayStation, right? Like the original one was just a VR game, right? It was just for
Yes.
that. And then on the latest one for PlayStation 5, it wasn't. You could play it however. So,
Yes.
um, you know,
Oh yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I was just I don't know. I don't know why I thought that. Like I just saw two different boxes and then I had the stupid impression. But yeah, going back to Game Pass. When was Game Pass first announced? For the first time ever in 2017.
yes.
Yeah, and man, how how it has evolved is just I think it's unbelievable, especially especially considering how the generation of the Xbox One went, which was like let's be honest. The Xbox division, even though had some good games, some really fun and good games, the Xbox division was close to an end, in my opinion, because of all the bad reception that the Xbox One had in 2013. And like for them to be so generous to make a subscription service like Game Pass and to see how it evolved and to see how Xbox went back into being such a good and pro consumer console, much different from what we had in 2013. Like it's just I think it's almost like a miracle, to be honest, what Phil Spencer managed to do. How he managed to save the sinking ship.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And really, um, that the latest Xbox documentary is really a testament to everything that Xbox has gone through from the beginning. I mean, it was a long shot from the very beginning. I mean, Bill Gates wasn't convinced at first. They had to fight to show people that they could compete with Sony,
The
and
Valentine's
put
Day
a PC.
Massacre.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then
I
you got to
just
think about all the negative press that they got in the Xbox One era with TV. Um,
exactly.
and finally, Satya coming to Phil Spencer and then asking that infamous question of like, does Xbox need to exist anymore? You know,
Exactly.
and for the ship to be turned around, I think the craziest thing is that there's a lot of defactors and people that are doubters, and Xbox is doing all of this without supposedly any major first party quote unquote exclusives because quote everything's on PC. Well, they're still out there with 11 or 12 million consoles sold on Series X and S, right?
Mhm.
They're having probably their best startup of a generation that I've seen. Um,
Yes.
and as far as the games lineup, I mean, and I'll say this for both parties, I think that 2022 is just going to be
Insane,
phenomenal.
right?
It's going to be insane from February on through the fall. Not even including stuff that we haven't heard about or had announced. You know what I mean? Starting with Elden Ring and then going on from there. I think that there's next year's game of the year is going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be an absolute massacre trying to go through those games that we're going to be getting next year.
And like I think it's funny to just consider to talk about both parties, both sides of the consoles that we had. I'm excluding Nintendo in this case. I'm just talking about Microsoft and Sony because both of them seem to have a really good year. Like Sony has some really great exclusives coming up next year, and Xbox has some really good exclusives at the end of the year, from what I know. But also, it has amazing games coming up on Game Pass during the whole year and in a non-stop way. You know what I mean? And I think this is something that how can I say this? Because I think the Xbox that we have right now in comparison with what we had during the beginning of the Xbox generation is just unrecognizable when you compare the two of them, how things were going, how which when you compare their approach from before with what we have right now. And when you see how and when you see like how the things went in comparison during the PS3 and the Xbox 360 generation, the Xbox 360 was a much popular console because of Sony's arrogance that just fucked up the PS3. The Xbox during the Xbox One generation, the PS4 was the most successful console because of Microsoft's arrogance. And now things are starting to even out. I just hope that Sony stops being arrogant for the PS5 generation because they are already increasing their prices on their games to make a subscription service available because they have amazing games. They just need to be more pro consumer, in my opinion.
Well, it's funny because you remember how Xbox One was holding games back,
Yes.
and now PlayStation 4 is holding games back because every exclusive planned to release in 2022 is also coming out on the PS4. And
Yes.
now, before all the haters were saying, well, the Xbox One is holding games back. But now that it's things on both the PS4 and PS5, the haters are saying, "Oh, well, they're gonna take full advantage of the hardware in the PS5," and it's like, excuse me, what did you say? We've been saying the same thing about Xbox Series X and Xbox One and Xbox One X. It all scales. But now you believe in that because it fits your narrative. And
Is is not just that, but like I think that this is some really, in my opinion, bad marketing. We are not going to announce that it's going to be available on the previous consoles just so we can get those high pre-order numbers for the PS5. When you end up announcing that it's going to be also available on PS4, some people just start thinking, okay, why did I buy this?
yeah,
Because if it is available, why did I had to spend so much time doing clicking on refresh at my favorite and trustful websites to get a PS5 that was available in stock and see how, you know what I mean? Like there's just so much effort from people to trying to get those consoles when they could just have been waiting for the game to be released and they could have just played on the PS4 and that's it. No worries.
have, have you all seen that viral video going around of the kid unwrapping a PS5 and he pushes it over and says, "I wanted a PC."
Ah,
Yeah, I've seen
It's just
that.
I saw that.
like, oh goodness.
Somebody retweeted it. It was like that boy wanted to go play on Mount Olympus with the gods. I
But
thought
Oh,
that was funny.
I gotta be honest.
Shout out to King's Blood.
But I gotta be honest. What an ungrateful little brat. No, just kidding.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, yeah.
You
Uh,
motherfucker.
I mean, yo, I'm taking that back, and you ain't getting a PC, little boy. That's what I'm
Is
saying.
you? Yeah,
um,
I was going to say that. You know
You
what?
got to
This
appreciate. I
console
mean,
is
I'm
mine.
sure those parents they went through hell getting that PS5. Like, there's no
For
oh
way,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
um, whether you enjoy the platform or not, it is a hot item, and they're still going for like $800 or $900. So,
Exactly.
yeah, those parents they put it in. Now, at the $900 price point, me personally, I think a PC would have been a better investment because at that point, at $500, the PS5 makes sense, but anything higher than that, I would feel like, just because of the upgradability, that a PC offers and having access to Game Pass Ultimate as well.
hmm
So,
But like,
so
just let me just finish one thing that I wanted to say, because I was talking about bad marketing ideas that they were having to sell more consoles. That does remind me of what Xbox did with Halo 5. We're not going to put split screen just so we can have more Xbox sold. I don't know if that was the reason, but it seems like that. You know what I mean? And like
yeah,
that just doesn't work. You don't try to force your consumer to buy something. You need to just let him see what it is. let him see what it offers, and let him do the decision. Don't tell what they want. Don't tell the consumer what they want. Simple as that.
Mm.
So let's
Yeah.
go. So as of right now, 2022, there are 31 games right now that have already been confirmed with release dates, day and date, into Game Pass.
Mm,
And the first one to get that release date was Crossfire from Remedy.
finally. Fucking finally.
And that is slated for February 10th.
Hmm.
And right now, I mean, I had a lot of hope for the game when I saw it 2 years ago. But right now, early impressions from testers, it's a really mixed bag.
Really?
So, yes, I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure they're under NDA, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
But like, are we talking about the multiplayer or the single player experience?
See that I don't know that either. I think so. I know that they've went kind of look almost looks like supernatural powers almost in the game,
Hmm.
and that was not portrayed at all. It looked like a very serious shooter, like something like a modern day Counter Strike. When we first saw it, and now it's looking like I don't know if they've just went off
Overwatch.
the deep. Yeah, I don't know if they went off the deep end as far as the spectacle of what they could do,
Ah,
but I hope it really doesn't ruin it.
I'll
like,
be honest. I'll be honest. I'm a little bit more intrigued because of the supernatural element, but I played
really?
a lot of Fear, so
Yes.
um, I'm kind of hungry for a game to kind of cure that.
Oh, okay.
And
Fair enough. But like, I think a game needs to keep its identity, and that was one of the big problems with the new Battlefield because it seems something completely different from what it was or what it supposed it was.
Yeah. Well, that and the fact that it just launched a mess, that never helps anything.
Yeah, yeah,
And
not
then
just
people weren't a big fan of the operator system that they had inside of
exactly
it. So
that. Those are just small details that don't matter. No, just kidding.
yeah, no, yeah. I listen. I think that Crossfire has potential. I think that it's always a game like that is always going to be called a clone of insert something, right? Oh, it's a Call of Duty
Yes.
clone. Oh, it's a Battlefield clone. Oh, it's a Counter Strike clone, or what have you, right? Um,
Hmm.
but we can't discount Remedy's ability to tell a story, right? Because look at Control, right? Look at how well that game was received, um, and they know how to tell a story.
Alan
So I
Wake.
think that you know
Alan Wake, that's another one.
what's that?
Alan
Alan
Wake.
Wake, that's another one.
Oh yeah, of course, Alan Wake.
Quantum
So
Break, Quantum Break.
Quantum Break, yeah, all good games, all have good narratives. Um, so I would definitely play it. I'd definitely give an opinion on it once it comes out. But um, me personally, I kind of like the supernatural element to it. I think that it kind of makes it that it seems unique in the shooter genre, right? Like the idea of like shooting in the supernatural seems to be a unique take on just a shooter in general. So I'm a little bit curious about it. As long as it doesn't, if as long as it's not jarring to the point where it takes you out of the experience, you know what I mean? Like if it
Mhm.
flows and it makes sense, I think it
Yes,
has potential.
but like here's what troubles me, and kind of a lot, is the time that we've been waiting for this game to be released because this game has been announcing such a long time in my opinion. Like we've been waiting for so long. And here's the thing, when a game is not able to deliver such a long wait of development, I always think to myself, oh my god, please don't be another Duke Nukem Forever. For the love of God, don't be
Yeah,
another. Nukem Forever. Because I was worried about Halo because of the time that we were waiting. I was, and thank God that it didn't happen. I was worried about Cyberpunk, and kind of it happened because of the bugs and all that kind of stuff, and because people were saying that the story of it was not, the world was interesting, but not the story or the gameplay was not that interesting as they were hyping for it to be. And like Half-Life 3, let's just not comment about that because if they decide to release a third installment of Half-Life, it's just going to suck, to be honest, not going to be as good because we've been waiting for such a long time that it became super memes.
Yeah, you reach a point where it becomes so hyped that it could never live up to expectations. So it's almost, um,
Like Duke Nukem Forever that we've
yeah,
been waiting for
yeah,
like 12 or 15 fucking years to be.
yeah. I agree.
I like Duke Nukem Forever.
God damn it, Bob, don't do this to me, mate. So
Sorry.
I agree to be part of the show. I'm here, I'm talking with you, and you fuck with me like that? Really?
Well, see,
Oh man.
okay, It's not Duke Nukem Forever's fault because that game. Okay, if that game had come out when it was supposed to come out,
After 6 weeks? Yes.
yes, it would have been great. But it came out so late that the genre had already evolved so
Yes.
many times that it was it did not connect with players anymore.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
Yes.
moving on to our next game. Tunic is releasing March 16th, and this is going to
Uh,
be a Zelda like game.
mhm.
Yes.
I just hope that it doesn't feel like shallow or it doesn't feel like just boring to play, to be honest, because again, this is another game that we've been waiting for some time, but not such a long time as Crossfire, to be honest.
This is true. Yeah. But I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say on Tunic. I mean, I'm kind of. I mean, I really liked. Oh shoot, what was that name? What was the name of that game where you were working for Zeus? Came out last year.
Phoenix Immortals, Phoenix Rising,
Yes, Phoenix Rising.
like
That's
the the worst name ever for a game.
if it keeps that same energy, then I may enjoy that game. I may enjoy Tunic because
But like
that's
but like the game seems, the comparison seems to be so different, so distant. Like Tunic doesn't seem anything like Immortals Phoenix Rises, in my opinion.
right. But Immortals Phoenix Rising kind of gave me that Zelda feeling.
So you
Okay.
mean like
So
Breath of the Wild, whereas like Tunic is more like the Link to the Past clone,
yes,
you know?
yes,
Like
Yeah,
I was just going to say that Tunic seems to be like an Ocarina of Time, but simpler. So yeah.
yeah, like a 2D. I would say it would be like something like yeah, like a a little bit more in depth Link to the Past, sort of Zelda ish kind of game. I mean, sometimes those games capture me, um, but I'm kind of in Bob's camp. I'm not like
Exactly.
I'm not like clawing at the wall waiting for Tunic, but I think it could be a good hit. Who knows? Believe me, I've been surprised by games many times. So um, I've not been interested in a game and then started playing it because it was accessible via Game Pass, and then I end up beating it. So
For sure, for
next
sure.
next on our list is a game that I actually have pre-ordered. Uh,
Scorn.
April
No, just kidding.
April 20, April 28th. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl.
Mm.
I played the first. Actually, believe this or not, the very last first person shooter that I actually ran on my PC. or on a PC. I can't call it this one, but it was the first Stalker.
Hmm.
That was the last first person shooter.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm ready.
For what we saw from the trailers, like it looks amazing. To be honest, like I was thinking this to myself, like this is going to be like Metro Exodus, but next gen, truly next gen, than in comparison with Metro Exodus itself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
agreed. I mean, Metro Exodus was a absolute showcase for for graphics and visuals, I think, and
Yes.
Stalker 2, based on the parts that we saw from it, look incredible. And I
Hmm.
think that time period of next year might be like um, because I'm pretty sure that is not cross gen, correct? Like that is not coming out on the Xbox One.
No, I don't think
Don't
so.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that like that's going to be kind of like the kickoff to seeing these games that are just meant for next generation and PC. And I think I'm telling you, I think that we've just really kind of scratched the surface on what we're going to be able to see. Think about like a year into the Xbox One or a year into the 360, and then think about like towards the end of the generation, how the games evolved um, from where they began. You know what I mean? To think that we're where we could be in the next 2 3 years with games that are exclusive to next generation platforms.
Yes.
It's exciting.
For sure.
put it this.
But like I'm just so glad that they decided to drop and forget about this NFT idea that they were having
Oh
before.
God.
Like this was so like, guys, you were doing so well. Why have you decided to fuck this up?
Yeah, the NFTs. what what a ridiculous thing. I don't want that anywhere near my games.
Exactly.
They can keep that shit far away from anything. You know, I think that the gaming industry has just kind of like slowly gotten used to microtransactions. Luckily, the gaming community has always stood up and said, "Hey, you know, this is pay to win, and we're not going to tolerate it." So a lot of the companies have learned to keep it cosmetic, right? Keep it to where it doesn't affect the overall game. But this idea that somebody could be buying something and it only exists in a digital space and this whole blockchain in gaming, it has no place in gaming. You know,
For sure. For sure.
Power, our number one fan's back.
is he?
Yes, he
What's going
is.
on with Ember?
And Thember
A
started playing
one.
Halo multiplayer. Well, sir, we'll send somebody to rescue you next year. Okay.
Yeah, we need to
Welcome.
link up and play, man. I haven't
Ah,
seen
Jesus
anybody.
Christ. We need to play together some Halo, goddamn, especially because Ash and Slayer they are not playing at all. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I want to be able to jump in there. I just got to be able to sit up longer than 5 minutes.
Ah, Jesus Christ, mate. Holy crap. And have you been here for like what, 44 minutes? Jesus fucking
Yeah, but
Christ.
I'm kind of like hunched over in my chair, so I'm doing all right. I got
Okay,
kind
so
of come up for air.
so
All right.
if out of nowhere Power Man 4K is silent, we know what happened, okay?
So
So,
along with Stalker in this spring, we are going to get our hands on Warhammer 40K Dark Tide
Ah,
this
Jesus
spring
fucking
as
Christ.
well.
Thank you.
And yes, you said it. Thank you. The first time I saw that trailer and those soldiers going down into the sewers and then being just swamped with whatever the hell they were, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to love this game. If I don't love it, I'm going to make myself love it."
I just want to say for the motherfucking emperor. Okay, just
I think is it, and maybe you guys can agree, but I feel like Warhammer games don't get a fair shake, right? Like I
No,
feel
they
like
don't.
no, they
they're
don't.
highly underrated, and like I really like probably my favorite one I've played in a long time has obviously been Vermintide 2, right? I
Right.
really love that game. You know, the Left 4 Dead style. with the
Yes.
classes, and it was dark and um, has one of the coolest intros in the game, in my opinion.
I mean, the first Vermintide, I believe it sold like 700 to 800 million copies. I'm
Man,
sorry, 700 to 800,000 copies. And
hmm.
then Vermintide 2 sold 2 million copies. And then when it went to Game Pass, they saw their user base like triple. And
But like
it
I think, but like I
Go ahead.
think that's just Warhammer in general, because look at how many great games this franchise had. Like I'm talking about, and I'm not just mentioning Vermintide 1 and 2, but I'm also mentioning Space Marine, that we
Yeah,
finally had a sequel announced during the Game Awards, and I'm so excited for that. Like, how long have we been waiting for such a thing?
that was one of my favorite trailers on that show. Easily,
Yeah, same here.
Space Marines are beasts, man. Like this, they have such cool lore. And the main character of that is actually like a very prominent character in the Warhammer universe. He's a beast, bro. Like so, um, that game looks amazing. I think that the 40K Dark Tide is going to be awesome. So
It's
I'm always
also going to
for
be a
Warhammer,
four-player
man.
co-op game.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yes.
like that's gonna be a great one to like team up and go slay some stuff. You know what I mean?
And after that, after
Sniper
Dark
Elite
Tide,
5. No, just kidding.
after Dark Tide, we've a little studio that Microsoft acquired um just came out with a game that I think was like the biggest hit on PlayStation,
Hmm.
Deathloop. Well, they're
Was
throwing their hats into the four-player co-op ring as well with Redfall.
wait a second. Is
Yes.
Redfall being developed by Arcane Leon?
Uh no, it
Just
just says
Arcane in
Arcane
general.
Studios.
Fuck it.
Ah,
Arcane is
no, fuck
Arcane.
it.
Arcane is Arcane. It doesn't matter the region.
And I played like 4 hours of the very first Dishonored, and I loved the concept, and I know I'm gonna get hate for this.
You don't like it. You didn't
I
like it.
di- oh, it's not that I didn't like it. It didn't keep me coming back to play.
How dare you, Bob? Bob, Bob, Bob.
What?
Okay, could you give me 5 minutes to spread the good word of Dishonored?
You
This is
got 5 minutes from KY Bob
this
right
is
now.
this is like a religion. How dare, this is blasphemy. How could you not enjoy Dishonored? Like, here's the thing. The amazing thing about Dishonored is not necessarily just the story, it's not necessarily just the graphics, the different art style, or the powers. It's the fact that you can play that game any way you want. Like that was like for the time that we were living, and when that game was released, like was kind of revolutionizing, to be honest. Like it's so many options, so many different ways for you to complete one single mission, or to just go through a simple section of the game. It was just so well detailed, and it had so much replayability, and Dishonored is awesome. Go play Dishonored right now. And here's the thing, I do understand that if you didn't like it, it's probably because you don't like stealth games. And since I really enjoy stealth games, so yeah, it was
I
just such
enjoy
a
stealth
treat.
games. I love stealth games. If they have somebody in it called Sam Fisher, or it involves this or it involves a sniper rifle, if a guy hops out with night vision goggles on and it goes, "Pew," I'm in. I'm sold.
And
Then it had to be a good game. I'll go to bat for it.
is that those are the only conditions for a stealth game: night vision goggles and a sniper rifle. Oh yeah, and the guy needs to be called Sam Fisher. Okay. Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Or a
That's kind.
silenced Ruger pistol. I'm
That's
easy to
kind of.
please.
That's kind of way too much specific. But yeah, okay, fair enough.
So Fabio, is it safe to say, like in an RPG setting, that you would be a rogue or
Not at
a
all.
ninja or what have you?
Not at all. Because I love playing stealth video games, but when I'm playing RPGs, I'm always the paladin or the barbarian. So yeah,
Oh yeah, same. Yeah,
always, always. I don't have the skills to lie so well as a thief or something like that.
yeah.
And then in October of 2022, we got a strange ass game. Kind of looks like Resident Evil. Doom had a baby. It is Scorn. Don't. I mean, I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be on Game Pass. I'm definitely gonna play it. See, that's the joy of Game Pass. It's like, everybody says, "Well, I don't know exactly." It's just like I don't know if Stalker's gonna be for me, or I don't know if Crossfire. I'm seeing mixed. It doesn't cost you a damn thing to hop on Game Pass and see if you enjoy it. Find your next favorite game. I
And
have
if you
to,
like it, you buy it.
yeah, I have to throw in there. Next favorite game is a copyrighted logo by Microsoft.
Microsoft said you
Yes,
can
I'm not
call
claiming that.
us, call us. We can make some more advertising for you.
Hmm.
Okay, and
Speaking of it, have
I
you guys seen that Windows 11 is available right now? No, just kidding.
goodness. Okay, and I'm gonna hop right to the meat and potatoes. I think it's the most anticipated game of 2022. I believe this game is more anticipated than the new God of War. I believe it's more anticipated than the new Horizon Zero Dawn. Uh,
Yes, we are talking about
November
Starfield Release 5.
11th.
We are talking about
November
Starfield Release
11th.
5.
Starfield. Starfield on November 11th.
Yes.
Need I say more?
Here's the
Nope.
thing. Here's the thing. You don't have to say more, but let's just be extra careful and hope, praise heavens, or to any god that you believe in, and hope that it doesn't become another Fallout 76, because Fallout 76 made us all worried.
Fallout 76 was a final cash grab for ZeniMax. They knew they were selling, and I'm sure it was a concept because everybody loved Fallout 4. Just
Yes.
adored Fallout 4. And everybody kept saying, what the only thing anybody could say that would have made Fallout 4 better is if they could have experienced Fallout 4 with their friends. That was it. And
Mhm.
so they did it. And yes, it was definitely rushed. But you know, they say they've been working on Starfield for the last, I think Tom Howard said 12, 13 years.
Yeah,
They've been tossing this concept around, and they've got like story art that is a decade old, and they've not strayed from their vision. And I believe that with the backing and the freedom and the confidence that Microsoft has in Bethesda, that this
Mhm.
game will knock it out of the park.
Not
It
just
really
that,
will.
but not just that, but this may be, I don't know when Redfall is going to be released, but this may be like the first Bethesda exclusive for Xbox. So they need to hit the bar. They need to set the bar high. They need to nail it, because otherwise it's going to be bad.
Yeah, yeah. I got to say though, I feel like a lot of people, and I do agree that there has been some missteps. 76, in my opinion, there was just some design choices that were poor, right? Like starting the game without NPCs, what I thought was really confusing.
Yes.
and just the trolling that can happen on the map, with nuking the map and stuff like that. I played the game very early on in its existence,
Hmm.
so I was kind of there for the uh, bare bones version of the game before they did the large update and all the constant updates. I will say that that game has come an extremely long way. I feel like in the same way that Sea of Thieves has come a long way. Correct? Um,
Yes.
I do agree that first impressions are very important. However, Bethesda has a pedigree dating all the way back to the original Xbox. The Elder Scrolls titles are household names at this point, and not to be taken lightly. And in my opinion, so are Fallout. So the fact that we're getting a um, Fallout in space or Elder Scrolls or however you want to put it, which in my opinion is a gross downplay. We're talking about the first new IP from Bethesda in what 20 years. So I agree with Bob. I think this is easily the most hyped game of 2022. I'm not taking anything away from God of War or Horizon. I'm just saying that, they are new stories, but they do look very similar. And if you're just talking about brand new, fresh IP, so far I haven't seen anything that's going to have a larger hype behind it than Starfield. And the
Oh yeah,
fact that that is launching day and day into Game Pass, I think we might see the first like mega jump, right? I think that's something that game is something that's going to bring in all of the old school Skyrim players and the old school Fallout players and all the modders and all the people that have been hungry for a new Bethesda IP. And they say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna get into Game Pass and see what's up with it," and then that could easily end up being a game that somebody dumps hundreds, thousands of hours into, which is what Bethesda's good at. Is just making a
for
game that
sure,
you can't stop playing.
for sure, for sure. But the the thing that am trying to say mostly here is because I do understand that Fallout 76 is at this moment much better in comparison with how it was at launch. The same way as Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves right now it's just another game in comparison with how it was released. But I think that for some of these, what I'm saying is that I am kind of annoyed with this modern gaming thing that we are dealing right now to release the game in a way and then we're just going to patch it and fix it later. And please, just make it right at release. That's the only thing that I'm saying, and that it's been kind of annoying. Every single game has been released like that, and it's been kind of really disappointing in some ways, but not enough for me to give up on the game because I know the game is going to be better in the near future, and that depending on how they're going to do this approach to consider that okay, we fucked up and we are going to compensate this to you by giving you free patches, free DLC, free content, as well as free extras, then I'm good to go. But still, it is annoying. So
I
Agreed.
will say something to our number one fan, Thember. If you don't have the premium battle pass in Halo multiplayer, um, I would recommend getting it. I mean, this premium battle pass, it costs you about as many in-game credits as one of the nice armor sets costs you in the store. But the really cool thing about Halo multiplayer battle pass that they've done that is so different from the others is that when you get this battle pass, usually battle passes go on for a certain amount of time, and you have to complete those battle passes in that time. Well, Halo's multiplayer battle pass, you have forever to finish that battle pass. If a new battle pass comes out and you want it, you can go ahead and get it, but you can still continue to work on the collectibles that are unlocked with each level of the old battle pass that you still own. So you are basically paying in that battle pass, you are paying for all of those rewards that you get
for $10,
Yes, for $10, you're paying for all those rewards, and you can just complete the challenges and unlock the rewards at your leisure. And when you compare that to, it's basically like the same price as like, I don't know, is it 1,000 or 2,000 credits? When do you refresh my memory?
It
Can't
is
remember.
it is 1,000 credits for
Yeah,
the normal battle pass. The battle pass with the XP boosts is 2,800 credits.
but it's not like most battle passes. You buy the battle pass and then you have to work at it before the time limit, so you're not
Exactly.
guaranteed that you're ever going to get anything, everything that it offers. But Halo's multiplayer battle pass, you're guaranteed to get it. You're just going to get it whenever you can get it. You're not restricted to a time limit. So I would advise getting it because it does add a lot. I've used a lot of the swaps that you get because some of the I hate the challenges
Challenges.
that want me to kill so many players with a weapon that I don't like. Like I saw somebody want I had to kill so many players with a needler. Do you know how hard it is to kill somebody with a needler in multiplayer?
Mate, you don't know anything that is hard. Hard actually is to kill 20 players with the pulse carabine. That is the
Oh
shittest weapon
gosh.
in the game. Like, ah, Jesus fuck Christ.
So yeah, I mean, you'll get a swap for every level that you complete, and I've used those swaps to get me out of those challenges that require me to kill somebody with a certain weapon because it's just I don't want that. I don't want
Y-
it at all.
Yeah, those are like two, like there are other flaws on Halo Infinite, but those are, in my opinion, the two biggest ones. The progression system, which is like, how could they just fuck this up? And the shop with so with with way too overpriced items, to be honest. Like, here's the thing, they just released a brand new AI for you to buy at the shop, and it costs $20 for one fucking AI. Like, who is gonna pay for that?
I don't know. There's just one AI on there that has got a woman's voice, and oh man, I could listen to that voice all night long playing multiplayer. To be
Oh
honest
yeah,
with you.
oh yeah, but like, it's not necessary. It's not like, is would you pay for it at the shop for $20? Like, we are talking about the Mr. Chef, Mr. Chief AI that they just released.
So I just want to remind everybody that's watching, that's listening, um, like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't heard of us, we are the Xbox Live Party Podcast. Check our channel out on YouTube. We are literally the kings of indie game reviews. I'm telling you, if there's an indie game out and there's people playing it, our channel owner, Ash, has played it and has put up a quality review of it. And I can't, I mean, I've, some channels on YouTube, I like the podcasts, but when you go to their channel, that's all that's on their channel is their podcast. You will be just simply amazed by the amount of content that is on the Xbox Live Party Podcast YouTube channel. It is never ending. We have got reviews on everything. We have got uh videos on voting and top what we thought were the top games and it's just you got to check it out. We got so much content out there you don't know what you're missing.
And next year we are going to have way more new shows as well, soon to be announced.
Yes. Yes, we are, our viewership and our subscriptions may not be growing quickly, but that's not why we did this. We did this for the passion of
Getting
our
money. No, just kidding.
we did this for our passion in gaming, and we don't need the recognition to just throw out more content. We do it because we love it, and we hope that all of you love it too, and that you support us and share us out. And okay, I'm off my soapbox now.
There you go.
Ash, I did the advertisement. There you go, buddy. Okay.
He's going to say he's going to say that it wasn't good enough, and
Oh,
for you
I
to
know
say it
it.
again.
I know it. Oh, so
Ash, Ash is a prick. Let's be honest.
oh, so have you all seen on Twitter where these, and I don't know. I know Power Man is on the same level that I am. Fabio, I don't think so, but you cannot call me and Power Man a fanboy. You can't do it. I've got a PS4 right next to me. I've got every banger installed on my PlayStation 4 that came out during the PlayStation 4, and I've played them all. I've got a PC neck behind that I play all my real time strategy games on. A PC that I built myself. And then I've got 3 generations of Xbox.
Hmm.
I've
Nice,
I,
nice.
I've play all the games, okay? But there's fanboys. So I'm allowed to use that term. We have fanboys that are attacking Microsoft and innocent bystanders because Microsoft got these people Series S's for Christmas.
What? Sorry?
Yes, yes. There are people attacking them saying that they should have gotten PlayStation 5s.
Mm.
Or
And
even worse, they're saying, just coming out with little jabs saying like, oh, shout out to everybody, every little kid that got a Series S, like feels bad kind of thing. Just kind of like making fun of a kid on Christmas that got a console when so many kids around the world don't even have access to gaming consoles. Really
You
exactly.
just
know,
kind of shows the level of immaturity that's
it's not just immature, it's fucking stupid
yeah.
because these same children that they are doing this for clout and nothing more because these children aren't seeing their the comments that are on YouTube or on Twitter to these posts and these posts are just recognizing the fact that there is joy there's still joy in the world being brought to people. Okay, gaming is a joy, and I don't care what you're gaming on. I'm not a big Switch fan, but if that's what you prefer, more power to it, man. we
Exactly.
we need you to love the medium that we love, which is gaming, and don't attack people for being given a gateway to enjoy that medium. That's just it's sick. It really is.
For sure. Like, and like, I just hate the fact of how pathetic a person has to be to talk about console war bullshit at Christmas. Like, we're talking about fucking Christmas. We're talking about an event that was able to stop a fucking war in 1914. And you are just going to use that to make fun of a plastic box just because your plastic box is not being so well popular as you would expect it for it to be.
Nope.
Jesus fucking Christ,
I think
mate.
I think that the biggest issue
Go
with
to
these
go
guys,
to like go touch some grass, go touch some snow because it's probably going to
Go
is
out and
having
meet your
snow like this.
family. They're probably nice people. I mean, come
Exactly.
on.
Give them a big hug, give them a kiss, like just stay with your family. What are you doing looking at a computer screen and talking about that?
well, dude, they were
Jesus.
they were they were it was console warring on Christmas Day.
Like
It's out of hand.
here's the thing. There's one situation where a console warrior in favor of PlayStation. He is I'm not gonna say his name, but you guys probably know who he is, but he's not doing well. He's having some serious problems with his health. He's having some
Yep.
serious health issues. You know who I'm talking about, right? I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
his name here. And
Yeah.
like for the first, and like this is one of the times that shows up that console wars mean bullshit. It doesn't mean anything at all because so many PlayStation and also Xbox players are saying this guy, this one guy who is suffering from a serious disease, like good thoughts and speedy recovery. Like it shows what gaming is about. It's about community. It's not about your favorite thing. It's about community and the people you share this community with. Like I don't know about this guy. I have nothing to do with his life. I don't care if he doesn't like Xbox, but I cared to the fact that holy fucking shit, this guy is ill. So I'm sending him some positive vibes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And
And
it's
like
getting to a point where it's becoming very personal. Like Thimber pointed out with the girl that was from Xbox that she has like the yellow dyed hair, and then this weirdo
I
on the
saw that.
internet,
Oh yeah.
tried to
Yeah.
turn her into a meme. Which that guy's a total weirdo. He should be kicked off Twitter.
And guess what?
I've got screenshots of that guy saying some like absolutely horrible stuff. Like
And guess what? We are talking, and he made a meme about that on her birthday.
yeah,
Even Phil Spencer and acknowledged her
It's just,
birthday by giving her good wishes.
you know, I just it blows my freaking mind if you like when Xbox puts out a positive tweet, the very first reply is somebody saying something about PlayStation. And I'm like, what is your life like? I mean, my God, was that the highlight of your day?
yeah,
Give me a break, dude. I
and
mean,
I do feel yeah. Go ahead.
we're trying to spread positivity in gaming. Microsoft has went as far as to make it possible for you to game on your phone, your computer, your tablet, wherever you may have an electronic device. I'm not saying ha 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 Xbox can do this and PlayStation can't. I'm saying that you know at least one side is trying to bring gaming to the masses because gaming connects people. It builds communities. And I love PlayStation exclusives, but I'm not going to go out there and trash one brand for another because PlayStation is good at what they do and Xbox is good at what they do.
Yeah,
Don't
I've got far less of a problem with PlayStation as a company as I do with the rabid fanboys that just cannot stand it if somebody enjoys Xbox as a platform or frankly any other platform. You know, if anybody is talking about anything other than a Sony PlayStation exclusive, imagine being so close-minded in your gaming experience that you can only enjoy something that only Sony pumps out, and that's the only thing that you can build up and bring out. Like imagine all the games that you would have missed out on just because they weren't Sony exclusive. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
and I think a lot of it stems from Microsoft's business dealings in the past. But I mean, Microsoft's gaming division really is about the player. And when you start talking about companies that sell the same game over and over and over with different versions and different editions for different consoles, I mean, the hierarchy is Nintendo's the worst at doing that.
Hmm.
Right behind that is PlayStation. Maybe it wouldn't have been so bad if the hardware wasn't so unique on the PlayStation 3. Maybe it wouldn't have been so bad.
Hmm.
But because it was, I mean, that's why they should have had a Game Pass from the get go, so that you could play all those PS3 games. So
Yes.
I
Yeah, agreed.
Just like man, I'm just here's the thing. Console wars are just to have are a joke. You don't have to get serious about them. But out of nowhere, when someone doesn't have any arguments, they decide to say, "Ah, that's because I fucked your mom," and like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, what the fuck? What? What? Where did
Well,
that
that's
come
the thing
from?
too, and I think that it's easy. It's easy for people to want to hate Xbox because the origins are in Microsoft, right? But like I
Yes.
said, if you go back and you watch the Xbox documentary, the people that designed the original Xbox, bro, were gamers, man. They wanted to build a console that could be in the living room for
yeah.
gamers to play.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean? So the origins of the Xbox, notwithstanding the Microsoft platform, because back in the day, yes, they had to fight and struggle to make Xbox a thing because Microsoft was so big. Windows, Excel, Office, all of the things that they were doing. To see that there was passion and that real gamers were just trying to make a console happen and like inject themselves into this market should have been enough. But
Yes.
everybody just they coincide Xbox with Microsoft and oh, big corporations are bad, and everybody has their opinion on those things. But in my opinion, right now in gaming, I can't think of a better, more consumer friendly service than Xbox. Granted, they've needed to because of the a couple of issues they've had in their lifespan, but that does nothing but help us as gamers. It's not a negative. It's a net positive.
you know, it's
Yes.
funny you should mention the problems that they've had. Watching that 6 part documentary, and if you're listening and you haven't watched it,
You
you need to
need to
go
watch
to
it.
yes, you need to go to Xbox's YouTube channel. There is go to the playlist, Power On, the story of Xbox. It's a 6 part documentary on the entire life from the fighting of the conception, trying to get Bill Gates on board to everything. And when they redid that E3 of 2012, oh my lord, I did not
Uh,
realize that they said the word television so many times, but they did. Every person that came on stage said it over and over and over. And I'm like, wow, now I really do understand. I mean, I, I had a cable box and a VCR and a DVD player for that. I didn't want my console to do that. But yeah,
exactly.
it's
Like
and
I
that's
think,
why Don Matrick is no longer at Xbox and the reins were handed to Phil Spencer.
I think it's quite interesting and quite impressive to see a company to acknowledge their own failures and their own mistakes. Like they set their ups and downs during this documentary. Like the when I saw again the section showing up the red ring of death of the 360, I was like, holy fucking shit, I remember this.
They own that shit,
Jesus,
dude.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I remember the stress that it was. And, like, I had my 360 and I was always afraid that someday this thing is going to break. I don't know when, I don't know how, but it may break. And thank God it didn't. But I was plain afraid all the time when this
I
shit
had
was happening.
3 red rings of death, 3 of them. And
Ah,
I knew that when I got it, I had to wait three weeks to get the box, send the box, and get the box.
yes, and like I just loved how they let everyone there in the documentary to feel as comfortable as they were. Like Aaron Greenberg saying like, "Oh yeah, the conference that we did in 2013 for the Xbox One, that was shit. Like we just fucked up." So like he was saying all the swears and curses, and he didn't give a fuck because he know that the situation was bad, and he had to acknowledge that.
And they've owned it, and I think that's something really admirable about Xbox is they've every downfall, they've owned it. I mean, even with the Red Ring of Death. I mean, even with the horrible E3 and the release of the Xbox One in 2013. Out with Don Matrick, in with Phil Spencer, and Phil Spencer, he owned every ounce of that shit. He took it head on and he told the community what was going to happen and how it was going to happen. And
And
here we
we
are.
and like we have to, and we need to say that he had to be honest, and I think he was honest to say that, okay, the failure that was caused by that we caused to ourselves with the Xbox One release and presentation in 2013 made us have some really casualties because we lost a lot of studios. Like we lost Lionhead, we lost Press Play, and like those were really good studios, and I would love to see them back, but we can't.
That's funny, Thumber, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh
They
Jesus
reveal they reveal God of War is coming to PC Game Pass.
no, no. Well, if the baseball game was available on
I
Game
think that's
Pass.
going to be a Steam exclusive on PC. Yes.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Jesus Christ.
So,
Uh,
well, finishing up our last podcast of 2021. Um, so, I mean, I want to go around the table and what are your aspirations and predictions for not just Xbox, because we are called Xbox Live Party Podcast, but for gaming in general, where do you see? I mean, are we going to have a Game Pass Fire Stick next by this time next year? I mean, what is Sony going to look like with their 3 tier system? Will that fail? Will they go to 1 tier? Power. What are your aspirations and predictions?
My guess right now, and we kind of touched on it earlier, but I think that 2022 is going to be a huge year for gaming in general, and I don't, not even specific to one platform. As far as the subscription services, as far as like PlayStation's tier service, I know what they're trying to do is merge PS Now with PS Plus, right? A lot of people still think to this day that PS Now is strictly a cloud gaming service, right? A lot of people still think that you or don't know that you can download some of those titles off of PS Now. So PlayStation is trying to get ahead and trying to find a way to merge that. Will that come out to be successful? I mean, it really depends on how they merge it. If they tie it into PS Plus, then maybe. But it's kind of like a wait and see moment for me. As far as Game Pass, I mean, at this point, I feel like Game Pass is almost a household name. I feel like it's synonymous with a deal. I think Xbox has gotten a lot of positive press, more so than I think I've seen in a long time. So I don't really see that stopping. I do think that um, Sony will have the momentum early in the year with God of War and Horizon, and I think that like they did this year, I think Xbox is going to take the back half of 2022 in a lot of ways as far as like hype and all that. With Starfield probably being right there with probably Elden Ring. I think that those two are probably the most hype games out of all of them. So I think that we're going to see record numbers of Game Pass subscribers, and I do think that we're probably going to get a lot of surprises in E3 this year. So as far as that's concerned, I think that's where we're going to be.
Yeah, I agree. Um,
good points.
wholeheartedly.
Good points.
Fabio?
Here's the thing, I have no predictions at all. I can only hope for good things because I don't want a particular. console to win. I don't want to see like, oh yeah, just Xbox is doing well or just PlayStation is doing well. I want to see what it seems to be the case where both of them are just stepping up. You may say it's a competition, you may say it isn't a competition because we're dealing about like Game Pass versus exclusives, and you can say that this is a different thing. I don't care. I want to see them both to do well and to have a great year and to make their players to be proud and happy to have their console. Simple as that. And I have a personal request for both Sony and Microsoft. For Sony, my personal request is don't be arrogant. Just be more be pro consumer, because if it wasn't for the consumers you wouldn't be where you are right now. And for Microsoft, for the love of God, don't be proud sons of bitches and use the IPs that you have, because I've been waiting 13 years for a new Banjo Kazooie game and we still got nothing.
You're not allowed to mention that franchise.
Don't just say that. Don't just say that. Banjo Kazooie will never be silenced.
We're going to get a new Conquer before we get Banjo Kazooie.
Conquer is another game that I would love to see a return. I don't care, Conquer or Banjo Kazooie, just bring it back for the love of God.
All right. With that out of the way, it's time for the host to give his 2 cents, and I'm with both of you, really. I'm don't want I don't want domination on both sides. I want domination on all sides. I want to see the the hobby that I love grow and to be challenged from all sides. Like, so right now with no holiday releases for PlayStation, that bothers me. Yes, I mean I'm glad we got a new Halo and a new Forza, but I would have enjoyed something new to play on my PlayStation 4.
Hmm.
And so I mean I want PlayStation to, I mean I am excited for the new God of War. I can't wait to play the new God of War. I want to play the new Horizon Zero Dawn. I liked that game.
Hmm.
I was disappointed when Days Gone 2 got shot down because I literally loved that game.
Hmm.
But I mean, you took zombies and motorcycles and put them together, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm in love." And now we're not making a sequel.
Well, you do have a game like that. It's called Right to Hell Retribution. Don't play that game for the love of God. Don't play that game for the love of God. Stay away from it.
So for I don't I don't really have anything to say about Nintendo. Just, keep doing you and try and remember the prior generations before the one we're on. That's all I'm saying. And
Yes.
PlayStation, um please keep making things work on the PlayStation 4 cuz that's what I've got. And I
Eh,
didn't when the release window came, it was put all of my efforts into a PlayStation 5 or a Series X. I don't know very many people who were able to split those efforts and get both.
mhm.
Um, so I went with what I thought would be the easier of the two because of the yield rates that I was hearing from the foundries that were making the PlayStation chip. So I went with the Series X because I thought there'd be more available. And me and my wife both were able to get a Series X on release day. No issues whatsoever. I will get a PlayStation 5 eventually. but I will wait until I see one on the shelf. I'm not paying a scalper, and I'm not going to fight bots online. Um,
Agreed.
and that brings me to my next point. In 2022, I want to see these major outlets. I want to see Microsoft Store, PlayStation. I want to see Best Buy, Walmart. I want to see these people go against bots because this is your everyday person does not understand bots, and you shouldn't have to pay. Because if anybody's ever bought a bot before, they know that they have to pay for that to give them a chance. It's not a guarantee, it's a chance because your bot is fighting with everybody else's bot to get this product. And I want to see these corporations really go against that. Make it to where that person has to have an account and has to be logged in, and something make it to where it's something that a bot can't not do to get access to a product. And that's not just with consoles. We're seeing a huge, I mean, you can go right now on Amazon and look for a video card for a PC, a video card that's like 3 years old, and you're paying three times the price of the MSRP because you you can't get them. And I know you can still get. I mean, if you look for a 3090, you'll find a 3090, but it'll cost you a couple $1,000. And guess what? The MSRP on that's barely over a grand.
Yeah.
So
Well, the good thing about that, and I think another good thing about 2022, if you play on PC, is Ethereum is going proof of stake. They're pretty confident that it's going proof of stake, which is going to be pretty much a death sentence to Ethereum miners, which is the main reason why a lot of these people are scooping up so many graphics cards. So once that hits, I think we're going to see a mass flooding of mining rigs and GPUs. Actually, I've already started to see it on my local marketplace. It's still overpriced, and that's what a lot of people don't realize too. Like, fight these bots helps us because and not giving in to scalpers, because what happens is these companies start seeing how much money people are making second party or second hand rather. So they think, okay, well, if these random people are getting $1,100 out of these would be consumers, why can't we? You know what I
yeah,
mean? So they start wanting to
Jesus.
raise, they start wanting to raise those prices, and it begins to hit us twofold. So it's a dangerous game. Hopefully, I'm as a gamer, I don't care about crypto. I want that to go away because I want to be able to buy things whenever I want to buy them, and scalpers too. Like I'm the same boat. Like I with PlayStation, I'm gonna buy a PlayStation to play Wolverine. Right? Like I'm excited about that game. I'm
mm,
excited about Spider-Man 2. I will play both of those games because I'm a huge Marvel fan. Um, but I'm not paying $900 for a PlayStation. I'm just not going to do it. So when I can walk into a store and buy the $399 digital version of a PS5, that's when I'll own one.
yeah. I mean, I guess I'm in a happy place right now. With yes, I do have an old graphics card. I've got an MSI Dragon 980 Ti, and all I do is play real time strategy games and I do content creation. So I'm not in the market for a video card until what I've got just doesn't work anymore. So, I mean, yeah,
we
I
may
know. I mean,
we may need to wrap this up.
Sorry.
No,
oh
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah. It's yeah. You're right.
No,
I'm
go
just
on, Bob.
I'm
Finish
just
it up.
rebounding off of power. That's all. But
It's all
yeah,
good.
2022, I want to see an end to the bot domination, and I want to see both companies, Xbox, PlayStation, succeed and push each other because the only way we get anywhere. I
For
mean,
sure.
think if okay, Sega had already died.
Sadly.
Yes,
Yeah.
sadly. Sega had already died in the console space. Nintendo was going to the Wii. It wasn't.
It almost died.
Yeah, it Nintendo was going to the Wii. It was not going to compete with PlayStation. If Xbox had never come along, where would we be at gaming right now? I
Yes.
don't believe we would be as close to moderate PC gaming settings as we are now. So keep that in mind. And finishing up our last episode of the year, I would just like to remind everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow. Check out all the content we have on our channel. Thank you to my panel members, Powerman 4K and Fabio. Powerman, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PowerMan4K, and you can catch me here every Thursday at 9 o'clock, rocking out with you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on every week, and um, as soon as I'm 100%, hopefully we can go into the new year strong, and I'll be nice and healthy.
Speedy recovery, my friend.
Yeah,
Speedy recovery.
Power, I really do like you, and I'm not just saying that because you're a
Are you
power,
going to open
because you're
your heart here right now?
shut up. Shut up. I really do like you. I'm not just saying that because
Uh,
you're a panel member. It's because you're here every week when you can be. And to me, that means a lot. And I
yeah,
just
man.
wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
the industry, and I love gaming, and I'm late to the community. You know what I mean? I didn't pay much attention to it when I was younger, but now that I've discovered it, I kind of feel like I'm a part of it, and it's a cool thing, and having our voice out there, I think, is important, and letting everybody have a voice via YouTube and these awesome content creators that we have that we're surrounded by in the Xbox Live Party podcast. I think it's a great thing, and I think we're going to go nowhere but up. To be honest,
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are already nowhere. So up is the
Shut up,
only way.
Fabio,
nowhere
and
to go
just
but
tell
up,
us where
bud.
you what you've been
Nowhere to go but up.
where can they find you, Fabio, besides across the small ocean in Brazil?
Well, you can find me here as a guest screwing up Bob's happiness with my comments, and as well you can find me on Twitter at FBO Amorim 97. On Xbox you can find me as both on Lizard 8, and you can find me during the Saturdays as the co-host and co-founder of the XBL Party podcast, our main show in quote unquote, because we are soon going to be changing that because all shows are going to be equal in importance, and we want to have just fun, simple as that. And that's it. Thank you so much for having me here. Like, it's always a pleasure to join you guys to debate about gaming with you, and sorry to be the Brazilian intruder on the USA show.
That's all right, brother. You're a lot closer to the U.S. than New England is. And this is your host, KY Bob. You can literally find me on every platform, KY Bob, because apparently nobody else wanted that, so I didn't have to change it. Woohoo! Right? Yeah.
That was lucky. Like KY Bob and everything. No one thought of this shit. Like, people may have thought KZ Bob, KA Bob, but not KY Bob. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. You see, I avoided the apparent Astro God Bob. That didn't happen, so
What?
nobody went
What?
with the old KY. So I got it free and clear.
There we go. You're going to trademark that. No one else can ever use
I
it.
need to. I need to. But
Um,
anyway, Xbox, Twitter, My YouTube channel has not had a lot put on it for a long time because I had problems with OBS. So I've been doing everything that I do right here on the Xbox Cloud Party podcast channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. We've got a lot of content and a lot of down to earth points of view. And we love you all. Have a great New Year's and hug somebody and tell them you love them. Good
Happy
night,
New Year,
everybody.
everyone. Good night. Bye bye.
See ya.